Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Inside the Distance podcast. I'm your host, GK, the fight analyst, and this here is my man, Aaron the Dog. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. Had a couple misreads on the contender series, unfortunately. But such is life. You but we move on. I'm feeling good about the card this weekend, and I'm looking forward to breaking it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, that's right. We had some misfires on the contender series, but we're looking forward to, we have Bellator tonight, Bellator 251 coming up. Got some really good fights tonight. And then we obviously have UFC Fight Night on Saturday, which we're looking to cash big. I mean, I feel like this is quite of an easy card to, up and down for the most part. But
Seems like it.
still got some money that we can make on the card.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to recap because if you were with us on Tuesday, we recapped last weekend's card where we pretty much cashed on almost every bet throughout the entire fight night with some mishaps of bad judging and in the Bobby Green fight and, maybe a little bit others, but we're pretty much spot on.
One thing I'm gonna say here is that moving forward, the emotions are being removed from my picks. The last couple of my bigger single bets were Anderson Silva, and I also bet Vince Murdoch. Yeah, those are two of my bigger single bets. I had a lot of parlays come in lately, and a few other like doubles and whatnot. But yeah, those are two of my bigger single bets, and part of why I bet them is I really want them to be true.
Yeah, I know. I feel you on that.
That's a hole I can really get into too deeply. And fortunately, with people like our girl Jillian, it pays off literally every time. But not everybody's Jillian Robertson. So
or Jimmy the Brick Flick.
True. December 5th.
December 5th. Oh yeah, I can't wait for that fight. I'm super excited because that's a super max bet. I'm all over that because his opponent. We'll get into that in a bit, but I just want to say his opponent is gonna try to he's trying to check this fight exactly where Jimmy wants it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I'm decently excited for the card this weekend.
I'm not.
A few fights particularly I'm excited about.
I'm not.
And I'm also excited because it's a pretty easy betting card for the fights I'm willing to bet on.
So, yeah, I agree on that.
And I'm not going to complain about a week of fights. They can have them every single week. The main event I'm super excited about, actually. So
I'm actually excited about seeing Tanda Boser back in there as well. The mullet.
Yeah, I think that after we talk about this card, you're going to be more excited than you are right
I think
now.
so. Maybe. I just got a lot of things going on.
Let's see if we can cheer you up a little bit.
Right.
We all got a lot of things going on.
Exactly. So, with that said, let's get right down to the breakdown. Right now, starting off on the preliminary card is a new fight because one of the fighters have fell off at 135 pounds between Gustavo Lopez and Anthony Birchik. Right now, Lopez is it looks like it's basically a pick'em fight. Right now, Lopez is a minus 105 dog to a minus 115 favorite for Birchik. Who do you got?
I was aware of this fight earlier in the day, so I was able to do a little bit of research and study on each of the guys. It's a tough break for Gustavo, in my opinion, just going from Corrales, who's one of the worst guys in the UFC, to Birkic, who's, yes, he got cut from the UFC. Yes, he's 34 years old now. Our boy Jamin's back. We missed you last week, buddy. But I maybe was more of an Anthony Birkic fan his first time around. He's been out of the UFC for a while. He's had a couple wins and been some grappling competitions, but we don't really know how good he's going to be at 34 years old at 135. And then Gustavo made it to a decision against one of the best guys at 135. Other than that, when we look through Gustavo's record, I mean, he hasn't beaten too many guys in note. He's got good power. He had good stand-up even when he was able to show it in a Dvalishvili fight. I I don't know. I think that Burkic, when he was in the UFC the first time around, had the Jesse Ronson syndrome. A few split decisions he was on the wrong side of that he could have been on the right side of. He hasn't really let up, with regards to since being cut from the UFC, and he hasn't had an MMA fight in a year, but that's COVID times. So he did have a grappling competition back in July. I wasn't able to watch it, but I'm going to go Burkic. I think he's going to be able to follow a similar game plan. And it's in the smaller octagon, which is an advantage for grapplers. So he will be able to get a hold of them. And judging that he's in shape and ready for this, I think he can make it to 3 rounds and just kind of grapple him. And take a decision.
All right.
I'm not betting it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to bet this fight. But if I'm choosing, I'm probably going to take Gustavo Lopez. I just think he's in the fight. He's been training for this. Burkic is 34 years old. He doesn't normally take fights on short notice. Let's put it that way. He hasn't fought in over a year. Like I said, he's getting older. Yes, he's been partaking in grappling tournaments, but he went to a draw with Rufron Stotts, who's normally a wrestler, not really a jiu-jitsu practitioner. I just don't think that really bodes well. I mean, he doesn't come out of a great camp. He comes out of 10th Plan Jiu-Jitsu in Tucson, Arizona. We don't know a single UFC fighter that trains out of there. And his time in the UFC was not good. He went 1-3, getting tapped out by Ian Entwistle. Not a good look, especially coming from a grappler-based type of fighter. Then he got knocked out cold by Thomas Almeida, which is, no fault to him. But his only win was a split decision win. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 wins. He knocked out Joe Soto as well. So he was 2-2. But then after that, he went to Ryzen, lost all 3 fights. Then he went to Combate America, won 1 fight. Then he went 2 fights, and then went to LFA and won a fight. But I'm looking into Gustavo Lopez. He's a younger fighter, 31 years old. He's already ready for a fight coming in against Corrales, as we went over.
Corrales. Worse. Corrales. Felipe Corrales, the worst guy.
No. Felipe Colares.
Oh, it's Colares? Sorry. He's so bad. That is a tough break for Gustavo. If he loses this fight, he deserves that fight.
Yeah, I just think, like I said, he's in better shape. He's fought Merab Dvalishvili, didn't get finished. And yes, Dvalishvili makes anybody look like they can't wrestle. I mean, let's be real. He's the best wrestler at 135 pounds. And it's not even close, guys. It's not even close. He will take down every single fighter, even if they record it as a takedown or not, because, he took down John Dodson about 20 times and they only gave him like 2 takedowns, which was absurd because he didn't hold him down or whatever the case may be. But like I said, you can't really put any fault to him. He took the fight on short notice. No, I think 2 days notice or 24 hours notice, something crazy like that. To take on someone like Dvalishvili and still be in the fight. He looked good on the feet. Mm-hmm. I'm going with Lopez here. I just think he's the better athlete. He's a younger guy, fresher, and probably has some more higher ceiling than somebody like Burkic right now. But yeah, it's definitely not a fight that I'm telling you guys to go ahead and run to your books and bet. But I'm taking Gustavo Lopez.
No, I think it's a fair kind of fight that if either guy becomes a massive dog, you can bet him.
Yeah, I agree there.
It's kind of, I know that's not the most sound advice. That's why I'm saying I'm not betting it. But
by the way, it's round 1 or decision in this fight.
Yeah, true.
I'm telling you, it's either someone's winning in round 1 or they're winning by decision. It's no other way.
I think the next fight we're talking about is the same deal.
I think this is a really good fight. I'm actually excited to see this because I'm a big fan of one of these guys. But yeah, let's get right down to it. Next up in the welterweight division, we have a fight between Max Griffin and Ramis Brahimaj. Right now, Griffin is a -140 favorite, And the comeback on Brahimaj is a plus 120 underdog. What do you got?
I mean, I've been really excited about Ramiz's debut for a while here. I think if anybody remembers in our breakdown of the Takeshi Saito fight, I had Ramazid, so probably saved me some money there. Judging that Saito came out and starts Jason Witt in like 48 seconds in that fight, and looked really, really sharp just in general. But
Oh, wait, before we go on, how about Jason fucking Witt?
yeah,
So big on him.
A star is born. A star was
Okay,
born
but
with
anyway.
one performance. But yes,
I
it's
know.
amazing.
Hey, but no, I was just
It's
happy
almost-
because I
it's
got something
almost-
right.
Yeah, well, you're right. And it's almost like preparation matters. It's almost like not coming in on 48 hours notice might
Yeah.
help. So again,
No,
again, that price should be taken into account with Burkic here, especially if Burkic becomes much more of a favorite, to be honest. He should not be any more than the odds he's at.
yeah, I just think if we go back to that just real quick, but
Yeah.
it's crazy how he is a minus 115 favorite coming in this fight on what 72 hours notice, and
Name recognition, I think.
that's crazy.
I think it's name recognition.
And if Gustavo Lopez gets to a dog money, I might have to bet him because of the fact that 72 hours notice, haven't fought in over a year, 34 years old.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But
Yep.
We'll see.
Yeah. So this fight here, I've been back and forth on this one. To be honest, I think it's going to be. I hope it's going to be a really good fight.
I think it is. I think it's going to be a great fight.
I do think that Ramsey is a grappler who could, kind of end up if Max is kind of haphazard, but Max is, I don't believe, ever been submitted. So
he has, but it was all the way on.
Okay, not since he's been in the UFC at least.
No, I mean, I think it was maybe his first loss no, I'm sorry. It was on the Ultimate Fighter back in 2012. The only time.
He got choked by one of my favorite regional fighters, Matt Secor. I really like that guy. He looks like a substitute teacher. Yeah, Max has had to say a tough run of it lately would be putting it lightly.
Yeah.
He's 4 of his last 5 he's lost, and they've been 2 split decisions.
That he could have won.
That he definitely could have won, and I think did win. But
exactly.
But again, this is we're talking about betting here, and
yeah,
I'm not crazy about betting a guy who wins fights and loses them on the judges' scorecards.
I know that's my gripe with him as well.
And it's tough here. I think that. I mean, even against a guy like Salim, he went to a majority decision in that fight even. So it's just like I can't really bet Max here, and Ramsey I've been really excited about, but I'm not crazy about the adversity and hurdles he's had as he's gotten to this fight. And he's only 8-2. I think it's a little too soon for the UFC, in all honesty. I think he could have used another fight or 2 in LFA, proving it against guys like the guys fighting on the Bellator prelims right now. Show me that he really can make the adjustments. He has 2 decision losses here, and I do, just think that it's sub or bust for Ramsey.
Agreed. Damien is right, 100% right with his a little bit of analysis.
Yeah, plus 1,000. So I mean, that's not bad. I'm not going to bet that though. I'm going to bet. Or not even bet, but I'll pick Griffin, and I'll take Griffin by decision. I cannot pick Griffin to finish anybody at this point, but I can take him to out veteran and outmaneuver a guy who may still be kind of compromised with some of the injuries he's had, and just overall may not have the range of an MMA game yet to do this. So I really like Ramsey, but I think it's sub or bust first round for him, and I think Griffin has not shown for that to be an issue in a long time. So I can't pick that.
Yep. I mean, there's not much else to say really other than Ramis Brahimaj is first round or bust. He's shown to have cardio issues as a fight wears on. Max Griffin hasn't been finished since 2012 via sub. He's only been finished one other time on the mat, and that was by Colby Covington, who's, obviously Colby Covington far better than Brahimaj. That's, a no-brainer. And if you look at the guys that, Griffin has lost to, Alex Oliveira, Alex Morono, Thiago Alves, Curtis Millender, Lazu Zaleski, and Colby Covington. That was his last six losses, 5 or 6 losses. Yeah, those are high level guys. You know, he beats guys like Brahimaj, you know, coming into the UFC. He beats all these new and up and coming guys. Zalim Imadaev, he beat Mike Perry, he beat Eric Matano, David Mitchell, the guys that you don't even know about. Why you don't know about? They lost to Max Payne Griffin. They weren't good enough to really, you know, push it forward, and they just kind of fizzled out. That's the type of fighter I think Brahimaj is going to be. You know, he's going to look flashy. He's going to look good early on. He's probably going to take down Griffin because I think he's got good grappling, but I don't think he's going to finish him. If he doesn't finish him, I think Griffin should win rounds 2 and 3. But like we said, I don't like betting on fighters that tend to go to split decisions, majority decisions, or anything of the sort because we tend to get screwed out of it.
You're gonna be sweating your money if you bet it on.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm steering.
If you're interested in betting, I only suggest betting if you're interested in betting Ramsey, honestly, because otherwise you're sweating your ass off for 15 plus minutes.
Yeah, I'm a favorite, and I'm not about that. I'm done betting these fighters that just go to split decisions. Angela Hill, not betting her anymore. Bobby Green, not betting him anymore. It's nothing against them. It's just these incompetent judges that just, you know, they can't call.
There's 11 or more fights on the cards usually. Exactly. So it's like you don't got to bet every one. So this is definitely one I'm taking off.
Yes, sir. All right. Next up in the featherweight division, we have a fight between Darren Elkins and Eduardo Garagori. Right now, Elkins is the -240 favorite, and the comeback in Garagori is a +200 underdog. Who do you got?
Whew, man, I mean, if Eduardo Garagori was any semblance of a good fighter, I would be taking him here because Darren Elkins at this point in his career being a -240 favorite is absurd.
But
Eduardo is that.
You have to think about it as this is by far arguably the easiest fight of Elkins' career.
Yeah, a guy who has beat a lot of very good fighters, but hasn't beat anybody since 2018, and he's been taking beatings.
Correct.
Beatings. So he may just come in and just need and he's like goes down. And in that case, even a guy like Guadagari could do it, but I don't think he's going to. I hate to say this for a third fight in a row to start the card. I'm not really looking to bet anything other than a Darren Elkins submission win.
Yeah,
that's only.
I think that's a good line, and it's the money keeps pouring in on it as well. So the lines have been shifting.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So, and it could come in any of the 3 rounds, honestly. For Elkins, I do think that maybe it comes in under like 1.5 if I were betting him, but I don't know. I'd probably just do the submission straight up and just enjoy that from there because I just think he gets the finish. We saw in Grigori's last fight how quickly he gave up that rear naked choke to Ricardo Ramos.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a similar type of deal where rear naked choke win for Elkins at some point in the fight.
Yeah, I'm going with you on that as well. I think that's pretty much your only angle here. I mean, you could take Elkins by decision, but it's not juicy enough for me to want to really bet on Elkins. It's +145. I really like the submission proper +345. You're already seeing Garagori is susceptible to getting taken down by literally anybody and at any facet of grappling. He cannot stop takedowns whatsoever. And you saw how fast he got subbed by what's his name? What's his name? Ricardo Ramos. My bad. Yeah. So I mean, I know Ricardo Ramos is a black belt, but I mean, Elkins has been doing this forever. All he does is go for takedowns and submissions. So that's his game.
Elkins knows if he loses this fight, it's done.
Yeah, that too. And same with Garagori. The moment he loses this fight, he's done too because no one really wants to see him in there.
Will go to Uruguay's MMA promotion or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and make his $200. I mean, let's be real.
He'll be like a national hero at least and not getting his ass beat.
That's true. But yeah, like I said, guys, you're definitely not going to want to take Elkins at -240, so you got to take a prop. And I'm taking him via submission at plus 380, I believe. I just
Yeah,
said.
and I do think the 240 can be a decent parlay piece in a triple or a quad. So, I mean, it's reliable. He's not because in case somehow he's just able to just grapple and somehow not put him away, then at least you have a few Darren Elkins.
But what if you get those one-offs that he just starches him?
I mean, yeah, it's MMA. There's one-offs for every single fight on the card, no matter who's fighting.
No, I get that.
Grigori has not shown me the propensity to do that, and I don't know. I just think like Elkins is the bet though.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, this should be the easiest fight of his entire MMA career. Point blank. I mean, if you look at his opponents over the last 4 or 5 years, it's high level competition, like severely high level competition. It's not even a joke. So, I think Elkins probably should be a good parlay piece, like you said. I mean, who the last 4 he lost to were Nate Landwehr, Ryan Hall, Ricardo Lamas, and Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah. So besides the Nate Landwehr fight, you're not really too startled.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even Nate Landwehr would probably end Eduardo Garagari on the feet too. So
yeah, but it's just the amount of damage he took in that fight for 15 minutes from Nate that it's like, whew, like
I know
putting that level of damage on. So we'll see. But I think Darren should make this as long as he's not made at 10.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up in the heavyweight division, we have a fight between Marcos Rogerio de Lima and Alexander Romanov. Right now, Romanov is a massive 410 favorite, and the comeback on Lima is a plus 330 underdog. Who do you got?
Yep, people, you missed the boat on
Missed the boat big time.
You can take them inside the distance. You can take them round 1, I think, as well. You can take them KO. Those are your options. Any of those or all of those, I recommend. He's not losing this fight to De Lima. Again, there's a chance he can get starched. Way more of a chance here in the first 2 minutes than the last fight, of course. But regardless, there is a method to beat De Lima that Romanov fully should be able to face. Romanov is one of there's 3 or 4 really good prospects at heavyweight right now. Romanov is one of them.
Yeah, agreed. And then check out these
prospects beat De Lima. Like you don't lose to De Lima unless you're Ben Socially, unless you're like not even Stefan Struve lost to De Lima.
Yep. Check this out. Here's some stats. In the 4 of the 5 fights that De Lima got taken down, right? He lost all 4 of the 5 fights. He got taken down. He lost. Okay. Yep. He got finished in 3 of those 4 fights. 2 were in the first round. His only win that he got from someone taking him down was against Adam Wyzorek, who's not in the UFC anymore. Okay. Then also every single win that Lima has in UFC, none of those fighters are with the promotion anymore. Not one. So he beats bad competition. He loses to good competition. He gets taken down whenever the hell you feel like it. You see how easy he took down the other guy? Well, he's gonna get taken down even easier for Romanov. He's gonna take him down, get him out, Donkey Kong, punch him to death.
What's Romanov for a sub?
I like him by sub. I think that could happen because he does get a lot of neck cranks.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 140.
Damn it! And what's KO like minus 140?
Plus 190.
Oh wow! So they got the. I will take the KO. I figured the KO prop was going to be more. Okay, I love it. I'll take KO.
The funny thing is, De Lima is a black belt.
Yeah, he's one of those Brazilian black belts.
And yet he gets subbed in like majority of his losses. Stefan Struve is one of them.
I can definitely see Roman. And what's inside the distance for Romanov? Minus 150?
Probably something like that. Let me see. My computer's slow.
Just because I think
Minus
that
minus 235.
damn, they're making
That's
me
crazy
choose.
though.
They're
You
making me
you
choose.
they're not making because you could bet both.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Yeah.
Like I'm surprised they're even giving us plus money on either side. I would just bet both sides. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, just make it. Yeah, there
You're
you
making
go.
a profit either way because there's no way he's going to a decision. I mean, he's getting a finish. It's going to be
What?
within 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah,
we're on the same page here. I'm really
yeah.
looking forward to Romanov. Eventually,
I'm looking forward to Romanov picking him up and and just slamming him down because that's exactly what he's going to do.
yeah, he might pull a Charlie Altaveira and just tap out after the slam.
Bro, that dude Romanov is one scary dude.
Yeah. Sorry
All
about
right.
Chico in the background.
No worries. Chica's all good. All right. Next up in the middleweight division, we have a fight between Trevin Giles and Bavon Lewis.
Yes.
Right now, Bavon Lewis is a slight minus 115 favorite. I'm going to come back on Giles and a minus 105 underdog. Who do you got?
Friends don't let friends bet Trevin Giles fights. Friends don't let friends bet Bevan Lewis fights. Friends definitely don't let friends bet Trevin Giles versus Bevan Lewis fights. I don't want any. I don't know. I have very low thoughts on this fight. I will take Bevan Lewis to win a decision just because I trust him a little more, like to show up and fight through. But I really don't have much thoughts on this fight. I won't be putting $1 on it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of either of these guys, to be honest, and I don't think either of them are really super UFC caliber.
The biggest like letdown is Bavon Lewis. Like pure letdown. Went on the Contender Series twice. Did work both times. So much hype behind him, and he was just a dud. What I mean a dud, a complete and utter dud. It's knocked out by Uriah Hall after dominating him for the first 2.5 minutes of the fight. Then he comes back and just hugs Darren Stewart for 15 minutes. I don't like he's got the intangibles to be a great fighter. Trains over the Jackson Wink. I think he still does. They were giving him the John Jones 2.0 hype train behind him because he had the same type of stature, a really good striking. I don't know what happened to him. I really don't. But this is probably his easiest fight. Not going to bet it. But if I'm going for a pick, I would take Bavon Lewis. Don't bet it, though. Do not bet it. You're going to regret it. Do not bet this fight. Just let it slip away. Let it slip.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, Giles has his ways to win this fight, but
grappling. He's got that. He's got good defensive striking as well. He's got a good right hand, but his fight IQ is about a negative 50.
Yes.
Going in there and grappling with someone like Jared Mearshart when that's like the worst possible game plan you could ever have just shows me he doesn't go into fights with a game plan.
Very true.
And that's not who I want to put my money on.
Yeah,
but then again, I don't want to put my money on Bavon Lewis either.
To be honest, usually, I don't mean offense by this, but usually one of the lower level female fights is the fight I make my stake during. This is my stake fight because it's going to be 15 minutes of not enjoyable fighting in my opinion.
No, they're going to be staring at each other for like a good 15 minutes, and they're going to hug it out on the fence for majority of the fight too. And that's why I want absolutely nothing to. It's going to be like super close split or a super close decision altogether. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Next up in the men's featherweight division, we have a fight between Giga Chikadze and newly signed Jamie Simmons. Right now, Chikadze is a minus 750 favorite, and the comeback on Jamie Simmons is a plus 525 underdog. Who do you got?
I mean, like, I would love to bet against Giga at minus 725. I just can't do it with a 5'6" bantamweight.
5'5", 5'5".
5'5", 5'5", bantamweight. Shout out to him to take this opportunity. He got 4-fight contract out of it, Jamie Simmons. So I think this is one of these where his first fight, I think Giga gets a finish finally. I think he's going to be able to fight completely at the range he wants to in this one. And I think there's some striking issues in Jamie Simmons' game from what I've seen, even in some of his wins. He's just really kind of wild. Shout out to him for beating the guy who illegally kneed Boston Salmon in the face and broke his orbital bone in his last fight, in Sean West. That's who he fought in his last fight. So he got, revenge for Boston Salmon. If you're familiar with that illegal knee finish.
Yeah, that was pretty
all I've ever seen. Ever. And then he celebrated it after the fight. So I'm glad that guy got his ass beat by Jamie Simmons. So for that, and for fighting against Giga, a guy I'm not a big fan of, I'm rooting for you, Jamie, but I got Giga KO.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is the first time Giga finally gets his finish. Mind you, he's not a former bantamweight. Majority of fights have been 145 and 155, which is crazy considering how short he is. But this dude, he's got some power. He's a little wild with his strikes, but this is a tailor-made fight for Giga Chikadze. I want Giga to finally get that step up in competition, and after he finally gets his finish here, I think he probably gets his crack in the top 10, top 15, where he rightfully deserves it. Whether he won that fight against Jamal Emmers or not, he still deserves a step up in competition and someone definitely in the top 15. But yeah, Giga should win this rather easily, keeping him at range, poke him with the jab, his front kick, just using it the range, just like he does in every fight. But I think he finally cracks Jamie Simmons at one point and puts him away.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I had the heart to just bet Jamie out of Giga hate, but I can't.
Yeah, I know. And this is not the fight to fade him.
Yeah, I'll fade you soon, Giga. I'll fade you soon.
It's coming one day.
I just hope it's not when he's like a plus 240 or something. I want to fade him when he's still a favorite.
I know, because if he gets a knockout here, he's going to be favored in his next fight, and we can fade him as a dog in his next fight. But it's got to be against someone who can actually come there and to fight. Like Omar Morales. Him.
Alex Caceres was going to be the one, man. I'm telling you, that's the Afro.
I think you're right.
I was all over that the first time. When it gets rebooked, I will be all over it again, and Caceres will be a dog again.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. He might even be a bigger dog. It might be 250, 260.
Yep. So let's hope that Giga gets known as the Afro killer, Afro samurai. Then he's like, I call out another Afro fighter, Bruce Leroy.
What kind of accent was that?
That's my Georgian accent. Sorry to have our Georgian fan.
All right, but anyway,
the main card.
Yeah, well, the main card finally. Let's keep it moving.
A hell of a main card, by the way. Actually,
yeah,
this is a kick-ass main card.
Yeah, the prelims are very, very lackluster, but that main card is pretty saucy.
I'm hoping the prelims, the mismatches play out, and it's just kind of a quick and tidy prelim, so we don't have to. So we just have to suffer through Bevan Lewis versus Trevin Giles.
Yeah, for 15 minutes. Yeah, the rest should get finishes, but that we got to sit through that for. It's gonna feel like an eternity, everybody. It's gonna feel like an eternity. They're gonna just be hugging each other against the fence, and just don't. If you want to, show somebody MMA for the first time, do not show them a fight between Bevan Lewis and this man Trevin Giles. Just don't. Yeah, it'll be the worst. They were like, I'm gonna never watch this again. All right. Next up, in our women's strawweight division, we have a fight between Claudia Gadelha and Zhao Yan. Yan. We're going with Yan. All right. Right now, Yan is on minus 155 favorite, and the comeback on Claudia is a plus 135 underdog. What do you got?
I mean, we've got two fighters going totally opposite trajectories here, in Claudia and Zhao Yan, and it seems like everybody and their mother's on Zhao Yan to be able to put it together here, and possibly actually a lot of people even picking her to finish like Claudia in like the third round. I'm not on that, not so fast before we bury the 31-year-old Claudia Gadea. I think that Claudia is going to be massively stronger in the grappling department, and I think that she is a very fine dog to put your money on here. So I am going to take Claudia. I'm going to take Claudia to get the finish as well. So
The finish.
I'm going
Ooh,
to take a submission finish
saucy.
in round 2 if I had to pick.
Yeah, I don't see a finish.
I
It's
wouldn't bet
definitely,
it, but
yeah, I definitely don't see a finish.
maybe I would bet it.
But maybe a decision of a plus 285. That's still pretty damn juicy to me.
It's
You
not bad
know,
either.
I don't see Claudia getting finished either because she's never been finished in her career. Period. All of her 4 losses have been via by decision. Yeah, this is going to be a very close fight. I think closer than the line is going to suggest. Should be a pick 'em. So right now you're getting good value on Claudia here. Mind you guys, Claudia wins every round 1. Every round 1. If you look at the stats, she on the judges scorecard, every single UFC fight in her career, she's won round 1. So, if you do want to bet on Jan and your book has live betting, your best bet is to live bet her after the first round because she's going to be a dog, because she's going to lose round 1.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if you want to bet Jan, you bet her round 2 and on. I've gotten this little tidbit from guys in my little group. He did the research and he showed she wins every single round. So why would you bet her at the money line at minus 155? If you do want to bet her round 2 if you have live betting. You're going to get her plus 120, plus 130 because she's going to be down. Doesn't mean she's going to win, but you're getting more value on her. Claudia's, it's going to be a tough out. I mean, this is a massive step up in competition for Jan. But she's looked good. She looks poised to make that next step up. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna bet this one, other than if I see that Claudia's starting to fade a little bit with her grappling after the first round. After winning that first round, maybe I can live bet Jan. But pre-bet, I might have to go Claudia just based on she's been in there with the best of the best, and she has the fighting style that wins over judges. I mean, if you look at her fights, she should have lost at least 2 or 3 of the decisions that she's won.
Yep.
Angela Hill, she should have lost. She should have lost her fight against I forgot another fight as well. But she has the recipe that these stupid, incompetent judges like to have. I don't know what it is, but I really don't know what their type of fighter and fight style is. But whatever Claudia has, they love it because they tend to give her a lot of these decisions. But yeah, if I had to choose, I'm going to Claudia. I'm not betting this fight. But if you want to bet Jan, better after round 1. That's where you're going to get a shit ton of value.
I like it.
All right, next up in the middleweight division, in a fight between Ian Heinisch and Brendan Allen, which is arguably one of the best fights on the card, if not the best fight on the card. Right now, it's basically a pick'em fight. Brendan Allen's a minus 115 favorite, and Ian Heinisch is a minus 105 underdog. Yeah.
Well, I think this should be a pick'em. This is a really close fight. This is going to be a really good fight. I'm a little bit surprised that Brendan is the favorite, if I'm being honest. Ian's looked really good in his last fight, obviously, against Gerald Meerschaert. Showed off the striking. He obviously had the 2-fight losing streak, but those were to both really, really good guys. You know, in Akhmedov, who was on fire at the time he faced him, and he just kind of grinded out a close decision. So, you know, not the best, but and then Derek Brunson, we've seen how he's doing now after the Shabazian fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing who he fights next. With Brendan, I know he's coming off of a kind of a serious injury during the last few months. So I believe with his shoulder, but I know he was really determined to wanting to get another fight before the end of the year. I'm a little bit concerned he rushed himself back in part because his teammate got starched by this, or beat by this guy, not starched, but got stopped by this guy. And this is a guy that he's kind of circled for a while in LFA. So I worry that he's rushing himself back a little bit here. I'm going to go with Ian Heinisch to get a decision. I think it's going to be a really close fight. I do think Brendan Allen has a path to victory, and I do think he can get a submission. I do think there's a way he can out wrestle him, but I think Ian Heinisch kind of just can keep a certain pace, use that improved striking, keep it on the feet, and get a decision. So I'm going to take Heinisch close. I really like Brendan Allen, so but I'm going to take Heinisch by decision.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat as well. Brendan Allen pretty much just has to grapple him here and keep him on the mat. He doesn't necessarily need to submit him, but he just needs to keep him on the mat and just hold him there as much as humanly possible. But that's easier said than done. Heinisch has shown he's been susceptible to taking down, but he's also been able to get back up against every single person that he's fought. And if you go on the feet, Ian Heinisch is the better striker. I think it's quite obvious. Brendan Allen doesn't have the greatest head movement. He just pretty much walks forward and eats a ton of punches. And then you look at Ian Heinisch. He's fought 3 black belts already, and he's beaten all 3. Cesar Ferreira, he's beaten Shoeface, Antonio Carlos Jr., and he beat
Shoeface had his back in the fight too.
Exactly what I'm saying. And Shoeface is also a much higher level. I personally think is a much higher level of a submission threat than Brendan Allen.
Yeah,
and I think he's bigger, he's stronger. I think he's got a better back take. He's got better chokes. I think just all around better in the grapple exchanges. So if he cannot get finished by those guys, I think he has a really good shot here against Brendan Allen. And he obviously is the better striker. He's done it against the other BJJ black belts. And I don't see any different here. Plus, after his fight against Akhmedov, which it was, very lackluster and not good, he switched camps. I forgot where he was training at. And then he came back and, he
He went out to Tiger Muay Thai.
Tiger Muay Thai. That's where I thought he was. I wasn't entirely
sure. Went out to. I don't know where he left. I think he may have left Fortis, but maybe I'm wrong there. Or Factory X. I get those two confused, but maybe I think
it was Factory X. But I think his striking definitely improved as he's shown against Jeremy Mearshot that he, set him down early in the first round. So if he just gets back up after the grappling exchanges, which I'm assuming I think he will. I think he could put a hurting on Brendan Allen, he tends to take a ton of damage on the feet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I hope I'm wrong here, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Kind of. I'm not really betting this, but that's what I'm kind of feeling.
Yep.
All right. Next up in the men's bantamweight division, we have a fight between Ronnie Barcelos and Khalid Taha. Right now, Barcelos is a minus 370 favorite, and to come back on Taha is a plus 310 underdog. What you got?
I mean, Barcelos may be becoming the bantamweight Kevin Holland here, where he just keeps not getting relevant fights. Because as Barcelos, in UFC.
I think he's 4-0 or 5-0, but he also fought Saeed Nurmagomedov. That was a relevant fight. That was a great fight.
Yeah, but I'm saying exactly. But I'm just saying, for whatever reason, he can't quite get.
But he didn't have a fight lined up, so he just took this fight because he wanted to fight. All his other fights were falling through, so he's like, all right, I guess I need somebody, so I'll fight. So I don't blame him for getting low-level competition, but he beat Chris Gutierrez at least. He beat Dan Morant. He beat Bobby Moffett. I mean, that was before. I'm sorry. Those are guys before the UFC. But I mean, he's fought
He
good.
obviously had that Saeed Nurmagomedov win, which I believe was Saeed. That was Saeed's third fight in the UFC. Third fight in the UFC, actually.
Third fight, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, the Saeed was fully comfortable at that point, and we've seen how Saeed came back from that Raoni Barcelos loss, obviously with a quick finish. But either way, Taha, is kind of first round, or bust with the KO. And I just think he's a little bit going to be a little oversized here against Raoni, who's been a featherweight at times in his UFC career. He's going to be the taller of the opponents, have the reach, and have just the better overall game. So I think Raoni should be able to finish him. I'll take a submission finish for Raoni.
Yeah, I mean, Taha legit just has to pray that his punches crack the chin of Barcelos. That's pretty much it. Because Barcelos is the bigger, stronger, better fighter pretty much everywhere. He throws more volume. He's a better grappler, better submission threat. He's legit better everywhere. Minus 370, I think it's still of a decent line considering he should probably be minus 450, minus 525, something around those lines of a favorite. So I think he's a decent parlayable piece with, Darren Elkins, Romanov, those type of guys. So I don't think there's really much else to say. I don't think Taha has a lick of a chance in this fight.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you on that.
All right, next up, this is a co-main event, right?
Yeah, we're on to a co-main event.
All right, we're in the co-main event of the evening at heavyweight between Andre Arlovsky and Tanner Boser. Right now, Tanner Boser is a minus 300 favorite, and the comeback on Arlovsky is a plus 250 underdog. Who do you got?
I mean, I'm all over Tanner Boser here, man. I've been loving what I've been seeing out of him lately. And it's funny that, now betting Tanner Boser by like a KO is becoming like kind of what you'd seem to think of with him after so much of his early UFC career was like decision, leg kicks, movement. I think he gets back to that in this fight. I think it's a Tanner Boser decision win, 15 minutes. He's going to be smart. He's not going to overcommit against a guy like Arlovsky here. And he's going to take, I'm not saying the safe path, but he's just going to take the sure path to victory, not get into a situation with a veteran who's been in there with guys way better than him. And he's going to know that. But Boser's on fire right now. Boser is an efficient machine with how he strikes here. And I just don't see, I think he could get the KO, but I don't see it. I'm going to go with a decision win for Tanner Boser.
Did Georgia Karakian win?
Split decision.
Of course it's a split decision. That's such a bad loss. Yeah. Did he win? Did he actually win? Did you watch it?
It was pretty. I was looking up and down. I think Georgie did edge it out, but I wasn't watching closely. I'm gonna have to rewatch it later. And Jukulis won also.
Yeah, I know. I had him too, but that
was beautiful.
That was ridiculous. Like Bryce Logan should have won that fight. Georgia Karakian is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of these things where it looked like Logan was a little bit hesitant until the third round.
So stupid. Anyways, as far as this fight goes, I got to go all over Boser here. I think it's a different type of fight because Arlovsky's not going to bring the fight to him. He's going to try to fight at range, throw a lot of kicks, and just keep his distance. So a lot of leg kicks, a lot of movement in and out. He's going to be too quick, too fast. I got Tanner Boser by decision plus 160. I don't really need to overthink this here.
Cool.
All right. Next up in the main event of the evening is a good one. It's going to be a banger. At light heavyweight, we have a fight between Thiago Santos and Glover Texiera. Right now, Santos is on minus 240 favorite, and the comeback on Teixeira is a plus 200 underdog. Who do you got?
Man, if I really, really, really want to take Mr. Glover. I love Glover Texiera. I loved being all over him in his last fight against Anthony Smith. This is a fight where I'm not going to be betting on Santos because he had 2 knees reconstructed in his mid-30s, and he's lost to guys worse than him before. And I'm not even saying Glover is worse than him. I see it probably a finish inside the first 2 rounds for Santos, most likely. I do think once he cracks Glover with a few of those head kicks that Glover's going to topple over. And as long as Santos doesn't gas himself out or get into a bad grappling situation with Glover, I see him being able to put him away. Kutalaba rocked him with a head kick. I mean,
and then Carl Robertson knocked him down as well.
That hurt him. Anthony Smith hurt him before losing that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Glover is 42 years old, coming off of COVID.
No. Thiago Santos had COVID.
They both have.
They did?
Oh, yeah, I believe they both failed.
No, because I think Thiago had it twice.
So Thiago had it twice. All the more reason why I'm not betting it.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy watching this fight without betting it. Honestly, I would love to see Glover pull this one out and use his grappling and like not strike for not a second, not one strike. If he doesn't throw 1 strike standing, I might think Glover won, honestly, because that means that Glover completely followed the game plan that was supposed to be followed. I can't bet it, though, as much as I want to. I love betting Glover. Glover's made me a ton of money in his UFC career, and I've avoided him when he's lost, and I think he's losing here. I just don't want to bet a guy with 2 reconstructed knee surgeries at 36 years old whose best fight ever was a loss.
Yeah. No, I agree.
These are all the reasons I can't do it.
Yeah, I always love to put money on the main event. Maybe it'll change, mid card, but as of now, I'm not pre-fight, not putting any money on either one of these 2. If I'm choosing, I would have to go with the Santos. Santos still has power in his, in all of his extremities. He's a freak athlete. He's got power for days everywhere. Texiera legit just has to take it to the mat. Santos has been taken down numerous times. He's even got taken down by Eric Anders 6 times in one single fight. Doesn't bode well, but he was still able to get back up all those times, and I think he eventually finished them. But
he made him quit after the 3rd round, but it was on very short notice.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, but. Yeah, we've seen time and time again. Texiera takes a ton of damage. Yes, he's been durable, but he gets knocked down. He gets rocked. And if he gets knocked down or rocked against Santos, I don't think he's seeing another round after that.
No, and Santos has even shown like he doesn't like gas himself going for finishes. Like he's gotten a few second, a few third rounds. He's had decisions even. But just, I can't bet double knee construction, double COVIDs.
Exactly.
Multiple years off. Glover has ways to win this fight for sure. I just can't bet it.
Yeah, agreed. I'm probably just gonna sit this one out. But to be honest, I'm really looking forward to next week. I got so many good plays on next week's card. It's ridiculous. Like up and down that next week's card is just littered with just easy winners. Easy money. I'm talking like easy money.
Last time I felt this good about a card was the card we went 10-1 on like 3 weeks ago.
Like I said, next week's card, I think it's bang bang on like majority of these fights. It's gonna be like cash money. I'm super stoked because because after this card, I'm stoked that we get such a great card coming up because man, I like almost everything.
Yeah. So my greasy parlay really quickly. I'm gonna go, and I have to go decision inside the distance because I do use Bovada, so that's why I'm not getting specific. But let's go Griffin decision. Elkins inside the distance. Romanov inside the distance.
Hold on, I'm trying here.
Just let me know if you need any of those repeated.
Elkins by
inside the distance.
inside the distance. Romanov inside the distance. Where the hell is it? Inside the distance.
And then, you know what? We'll make it a 5-piece this week. We'll go Rayoni inside the distance, Bozer decision.
Bozer decision. And then Barcelos. What the hell's Barcelos?
If he's not on there, I can just take those 4 too. But if Barcelos is
by
inside the distance.
plus 6,212.
Yep. And if you took out, if you took out the Bozer one, just if you're worried about Orlovsky getting cracked, let's say.
Bozer.
So that would be Barcelos inside the distance, Romanov inside the distance, Elkins inside the distance.
Plus 2,255.
Yeah, there you go. And just again, for anybody who's listening, cheers, Jamin. Thank you for joining us as always. But yeah, just for anybody listening, Griffin decision, Elkins inside the distance, Romanov inside the distance, Rayoni inside the distance is plus 2,000.
Plus 2,255.
Yeah, that's $10.
Yeah, $10 wins you $225.50. That's it.
Yeah, and I feel good about those, but we'll see. I've hit a couple of these greasers. It's been a while, so I'm ready to hit another one. Although I hit one 2 weeks ago, so
it's gonna be good, man. I feel it. I feel it. This week we cash out, we get this easy money, and then we roll over to the easiest card we could think of next week.
Yep. And if you're not tuned in right now, find a way to watch the Bellator because Manhoff is fighting Corey Anderson in the main event. What a joke!
Obviously, it's a setup fight, but let's be real.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
he's gonna beat Melvin Manhoff, and then he's gonna fight for the title.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is how anybody in 2020 should get a title shot.
Yep, you beat Melvin Manhoff, and then you get a title shot.
Beat Melvin Manhoff, whose breasts are just getting larger. But yeah, where can you got any sponsors to plug or anything before we?
Absolutely, I am so glad you asked. All right, guys, you guys need to head over to manscaped.com to get the best male grooming products on the market to keep that jug feeling and smelling great. Use promo code TFTA20 for 20% off your order plus free shipping. Also, guys, head over to Just Blaze Clothing at the dopest gear out there. They got some fresh new winter long sleeves. They look dope. All right, guys, use promo code TFA10 for 10% off your order. My man, Aaron, the dog. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Still available for sponsors out there. Pepco, Puffco, if you want to hook me up with a dab rig or any other marijuana distributors out there. But Aaron J. A.Y. Brooks on Twitter is where you can find me. Occasionally making an MMA, tell on there too, but most of the time talking about other shit. But find me on here. We're going to be back probably next Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, since Contender Series is back on Tuesday nights, so we'll be back to cover that Contender Series card. Otherwise, I'll be back here Thursday. We went a little early this week. If there are Bellator nights, we're probably going to go a little early. So
yeah,
Bellator's happening. Otherwise, we'll be at 8 p.m. usually. So I believe next week we'll be back at 8 p.m. But thanks everybody for watching, and let's go make that money.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. You guys know where to find me at Fight Analyst on Twitter, The Fight Analyst on Instagram and Facebook. And guys, head over to thefightanalyst.com. Get my package now. It's just $25 for Saturday night's fights. We're looking to cash out big. With that said, we will see you all next Monday for the Contender Series edition of Inside the Distance podcast. With that said, we'll see you guys cashing out at the ticket window. Until next time, you guys have a great night.